You all right? This is episode 2 of Isolation Station. I've just ran 5k. It's all a part of that challenge where you run 5, nominate 5, and then donate 5 to one of the NHS charities. So thanks to that idiot Bendon Levy for nominating me. And Jamie, if you don't think you're getting nominated, you are, mate. So please donate as much as you can to the NHS charities. You don't even have to run 5k. And if you haven't been nominated yet, you probably don't have any friends. Even if you don't have any friends, just get out there, run 5k, do your exercise, and it is a good way to isolate, especially outside and running. It's nice. Now today's episode, I've got a really good guest, really interesting guest. She used to be the captain of the international women's English football team, and she's now someone on a bike. She's now a Sky Sports pundit on, you guessed it, Sky Sports. So I'm gonna get a shower before I go speak to her, but it's Sue Smith.
Hi, Sue. Thank you very much for joining.
No worries at all. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's nice to see you. Well,
Yes, I'm you.
it's nice to see anyone at the moment, isn't it? So,
It really is. It's just so bizarre, isn't it? It's like our communication is just literally through things like this, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Skype, whether it's phone calls. Yeah. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't see very many people at all.
I know. So it's our 5th week, I think, now of lockdown. So how are you feeling? How are you finding it?
It's just such a bizarre situation. I think it's probably the same for everybody, isn't it? And, I'm sort of used to a routine. When I was playing, it was very much, I'd be training in the morning, either on my own or with the team. And then you'd have your lunch, and then it might be training in the afternoon. And all of that is just in preparation for a game. Since I retired, it's been pretty similar with the media. So it's preparation for a game that you're covering, whether it's at a weekend or whether it's through the week. So yeah, at the moment, not having that structure has been quite difficult. So very early on, I decided that I was going to have a structure. So whether it was like getting up, training each morning, and having a training program that I was following. It's like I'm playing again. I'm training twice a day.
Yeah.
And then just little things like jobs around the house that I haven't done. I've sort of moved into my house 4 years ago, and I kept saying I was going to do a gym in the garage, only just got round to doing it. So, just little things like that, which is, pretty basic, but just keeps me busy.
Of course. So what is getting you through the moments of isolation? Have you started any new hobbies that you didn't know you wanted to start?
Do you know, I've found skills that I never knew I had. So I've been painting. So I've been painting a fence. I've been painting the shed. Some would say I've got skills dancing. I totally disagree. I've been doing the odd little TikTok. So just trying to stay, sort of along with the kids, that loads of I've seen loads of TikTok videos, and I thought, right, I've got to do one. So I've got the whole household involved doing little things like that. So just fun things, really. I think just to make people smile, because it is a real serious time. It's a sad time for a lot of people. It's affected, probably everybody in some way. So it's just just to put a smile on people's faces, really.
And I saw that you did the blinding lights challenge. You even got your mum involved. She stole the show a little bit.
She stole the show completely. It was funny because I had to do a Skype call with Sky. I think it was the Sunday of that week, and they completely stitched me up with that. So they put the dance on, and my mum was like, I was out of time. I can't believe you put that one on. So she wants to do another one, but actually be in time. So yeah, she completely stole the show, bless her.
Yeah, and I saw you did the remix one on your Instagram where you do your kick on. That is good. That was good. I was impressed.
Do you didn't see the outtakes though. That's the thing. I think if you'd have seen the outtakes and the amount of time it took us to actually perfect that, it took us a fair bit of time. But again, it's just something to focus on, something a little bit different. And my old PE teacher actually from Rail High School messaged me and said, I always told you could dance, because I used to just swerve dance lessons whenever it was PE and dance. I'd be like, no, it's not for me. I'm more like the team sports and the athletics and things. But I've actually found that I'm quite enjoying dancing at the moment. I'm not good at it, but I'm quite enjoying it.
You just got to go with it.
You've got to.
No, Strictly might be calling up very soon.
Hey, Alex Scott's done it, so why not?
Yeah, of course. And she did well as well, didn't she? She got to like
Did.
something like that. So there you go.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's got better moves than me though.
All right, okay. So you are, of course, very into your fitness. So have you find yourself doing more exercise in lockdown?
I think that's probably going to be, I would say, a bonus for a lot of people, a positive in this sort of real, unknown time, that a lot of people are doing more exercise. So whether it's just going out walking for an hour, or whether it's actually, if you've got weights at home, or you've got, there's so many fitness sessions online that you can tune into. So yeah, for me, I've pretty much, like I say, I've probably been doing more fitness than I've done, because I've got more time on my hands. So I'm pretty much trying to get up in the morning, do a session, probably do a session in the evening as well. So I don't know if you've done any of the Adam Daniels DNA sessions. So
Yeah,
I've logged into those. So he's doing 3 a week. So yeah, it's great. And some of my friends that probably, have never had time to do fitness, and now doing something each day, like I say, whether it's walking, whether it's riding the bike, whether it's going out for a jog. So yeah, maybe some health benefits may come out of this in the end.
I know. I think you caught me the other day on a run. I was doing a 5K run, and I've been nominated by my mate, and I think you caught me slacking a bit. I was I was walking, and then I saw you. I was like, all right, I better start jogging
I
again.
better start running. I thought you were doing intervals. You see, you could have got away with that. You could have said you just sprinted for 30 seconds. It was just your walks bit. So that's normally what I say if I'm tired.
Yeah. That's it. And I think the first time that I ever met you was probably in a DNA class as well, I think. I think Jamie dragged me to a DNA class.
Yes.
And I remember one of the first things I ever said to you, because it's the different stations, I went over and it was a planking station, and I said, "Oh, I'll be good at this," because my mate always called me a planker, and and that's how it all began.
Brilliant.
And I'm sure they do loyalty cards as well. Like however much you go, you get a free session or something like that at the end.
Yeah. That's what I think he did that sort of, when we actually went to the sessions and you got them stamped and stuff. So yeah, he probably will be doing something similar now.
Yeah, safe to say I've never had a free session, but
you need to get back into it now.
no,
That's
I need to. So Sue, women's football now is so popular. Like when you started, it was hardly ever covered by the media or anything like that. So how has that shift been like for you? How it's become so popular now?
Yeah, it's been great, and I think when I first started playing was on the back field with Rainham United for a boys team, and I suppose that says it all, that now there's so many girls teams around, that Rainham United actually have their own girls section now. So girls have the opportunity to be able to go, to be able to play and play from a young age and be coached from a young age. So the standards improving because of that, because grassroots levels improving, the structure moving forward. They have lots of teams that they can join, and so yeah, I think it's just getting better and better. And the fact, like you say, the media coverage. I think when I was first started playing, I think the only thing that was covered was like the FA Cup final, or maybe an important England game. But other than that, there was nothing. Whereas now, you can watch all of the FAWSL games. They have the player there that you can watch. All of the England games are pretty much covered. And they've got a real support now. So they've got that network of fans at each club. So whether it's your Everton or your Liverpool that you support locally, they go, they support them, they know when the games are on, and then they go and support them internationally. So yeah, it's never been a better time for women's football. It's just such a shame that I suppose this has happened now, and it's so uncertain. Will the leagues be finished? What will happen with Champions League? Exactly the same in the men's game, that the struggles, I suppose, are happening in the women's game financially. How are we going to be at the end of this? So everything that's happening, over in the men's side is going to be happening with the women's, and there's going to be a lot of concern, I suppose, how we're going to come back, and will we still be on the same level as we were before this pandemic happened?
So I'm sure you've been asked this all the time during lockdown, how it's happened. How do you think that the Premier Leagues for both divisions, how do you think that would be sorted out in the end? How do you think it's going to play out?
It's such a tough one, isn't it? Because I suppose the most important thing at the moment, the priority is everybody's health and making sure that everybody's safe. So that's the concern. That's the concern of all of the governing bodies, the government, and of course that has to be the priority. But I think everybody involved in football, when it is safe to do so, I think they want the league to be finished. You know, they want to see, whether it's Liverpool winning the league, whether it's Leeds and West Brom getting promoted. People want to see that happen. They don't just want it to be either void, or they don't want it to say, okay, well, Liverpool, you've won the league because you're so far ahead. Leeds and West Brom, you're in the top two positions, you should go up, because so many things can happen. We all know that in football, exactly the same for the relegation positions, the Champions League spot. So we want it to be played out, but when it's safe, I suppose, to do so. And I suppose the other thing is, you know, the behind the closed doors. Nobody wants that to happen, because if you're a Liverpool fan, you've waited 30 years to see Liverpool lift the trophy. You want to be there, don't you? You want to sort of that atmosphere. You want to sort of go and support your club. But if it's not safe, then I suppose you would rather it be played out and you watch it on the TV and see your team win it like that. But the ideal would be it to be safe, the fans to be able to go to Anfield and watch their club lift the trophy.
What was it like getting that England call up to go to the international team? What was that like for you?
It was, do you know, it was amazing. And I was actually speaking to someone about this the other day, and we used to get letters. So obviously now they get a phone call, they get an email, they might get a Skype call or something, but we had to wait for the letter to come through the post. So wow. I remember I was playing for Tranmere, and we knew that a scout had been down to watch us, and I thought I had a decent game, so I thought maybe I've got a chance of getting the call up, but wasn't too sure. And yeah, when the letter come through, it was all official. You know, it had like the FA stamp on it, and yeah, just invited me to the first training session. So it was just something I'd always dreamt of. So you know, I went there, and I remember sort of going to the first training session, was just in awe of everybody that was there, and you know, I just knew that I wanted more of that. I knew that was like what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep representing my country, and yeah, just such a good feeling. I think when you've worked so hard for something, you actually achieve it. It makes you feel good.
And were you ever the captain of England?
I wasn't, you know. It's funny because sometimes I get introduced as that. So I've done presentations and they've said, "Oh, Sue Smith, England captain." I just take it. I have never been captain, but just take the plaudits.
Exactly. That's the thing. I think in the intro of this video, I think I've introduced you as the captain of England.
It's all right. Yeah. I'll take it.
Well, just pretend. And now, of course, you are on working with Sky. And so how did that opportunity come about? That's amazing.
Yeah, just I think all the way through my career, I've always enjoyed the media. It's always been something that I've quite liked to do. You know, a lot of the players will shy away from interviews, whereas I was like, yeah, I'll do an interview. I'm quite happy to do that. And if I was ever injured, or if, you know, I missed out on an FA Cup final or something, then I would do the media work. So I'd be a pundit, or I might be a co-commentator. So yeah, I've been lucky that I've done quite a lot of work for BBC and Sky. So I pretty much do the women's football with the BBC, and then with Sky, I've managed to, you know, sort of work my way through sort of doing the Sky Sports News stuff to eventually doing sort of Soccer Saturday and Soccer Specials. So that's been great, just a great experience, you know, working with some of those people and learning from them as well. You know, some of them that have been there for years, the likes of like Matt Letitia and Paul Merson, and, you know, they're just such nice people. You know, I know some of them get quite a bit of criticism, and some of them, you know, I often get asked what are they like as people. Yeah. They're lovely, and you know, I couldn't say a bad word about them. They've really helped me, and you know, sort of being the only female on there could be quite difficult and quite daunting, but they never ever made me feel any way. You know, it was always really nice. So yeah, I've been really lucky that I've worked with a lot of very nice ex-professional footballers.
Brilliant. And if they do need any like more presenters on Sky, just give them my name.
The name's there. Of course I will. Yeah. I will tell them.
I've actually been on Sky Sports News. I was getting interviewed, and it was in Istanbul last year, the Super Cup.
Look, hope you all enjoy the match. We've been promised we'll be hearing for ourselves all afternoon in the build-up with the Liverpool fans in fine voice, and you guys are no different. Is that right?
and I just saw like the interview. My dad saw the interview, and he went. I don't know how we got on because he was interviewed as well, and he, you know, he was drinking all day, so he was very good to answer his questions whilst drinking all
I
day.
love that.
Were you here for that game? I was there, yeah. Yeah. Bring back special memories, albeit different ground? Can't remember too much, but I was there, yeah. Saxon Square, brilliant, yeah.
And when we got in the
That
stadium, people were sending it to us like, "Oh, you're on Sky Sports," and we're like, "Oh."
That is amazing. Oh, I love that. Who was the interviewer? Do you remember?
Oh, he was Irish. I think his name was Paul, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I always,
Okay, because they're lovely. Some of the guys are really, they're brilliant. He would have loved to have got that gig as well.
yeah,
Not a bad one to get, is it?
yeah, of course. And you were there last year, weren't you, in France for the World Cup?
Yes, I was. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. So cool.
amazing, sort of a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I think when you ever do a tournament, it is a great opportunity. It's such good fun. You have it's like a real team, a real sort of, you know, togetherness because you're just traveling around together. So it's that, you know, football environment when you as a player, but you're now doing it from a media perspective. So you still feel a little bit involved and a little bit, you're all working together to make a good program, if you like. So yeah, I was sort of hung around quite a lot with Dion Dublin and Jonathan Pearce and a producer called Phil Bigwood. Like they were my sort of little mates, so we used to just go around everywhere and, you know, just had a similar sense of humour. So we just had a real good time, a real good laugh. And obviously the viewing figures were fantastic. So I think each game they were getting more and more. So it was great. And I've learned so much from Jonathan Pearce. I actually phoned him yesterday, you know, just to see how he was in isolation and stuff. But he's just, again, just a brilliant person. You know, whether you like him as the commentator or not, I think he's the best around. But that's, you know, that's my opinion. But he's just a really nice guy and someone, again, that's helped me in my sort of career as a co-commentator, because it's completely different to being a pundit. And it's just learning those different skills. You know, he's quite happy to say, "So you had a bit of a stinker today," and he'll tell me why I think, you know, why I've had a stinker and what I need to improve on. So that's what you need. You know, you need that sort of support and that constructive criticism.
Working with Dion Dublin as well, that means your career could go anywhere. You could be presenting Homes and Hammer next year. Location, maybe.
I tell you what, you know, it's funny because of all the people that I've worked with, like my mum just doesn't really say anything. And when I was working with Dion, she was like, "It's Dion Dublin from Homes Under the Hammer." So it's like, he's been a pro footballer, he's been a very good footballer, but because he's presented on Homes Under the Hammer, he's the man.
So who do you think is the best player in women's football right now? Because
Ooh.
I'm sure Megan Rapinoe would tell you that it would be her. So
Yeah, she would.
who do you think it is?
Oh wow, that's a really tough question. Oh my goodness, right. I'm thinking it's probably got to be one of the Americans. Do you know who I really enjoy watching at the moment? A player called Rose Lavelle. And she pretty much burst onto the scene in France, you know, a young player, but just very, very talented, naturally very talented, very fit, like can keep going 90 minutes, you know, really quick with the ball at her feet, but just you never really quite know what's gonna happen. So I would say her probably for the US, but there's so many good players around at the moment. You know, even Marta, who's probably coming to the end of her career, has still got so much quality. You know, when you watch her play, some of her movement and things like that. But Lucy Bronze has got to be right up there, you know, as an English player, as a right back. There's no better, really. And again, she struggled with injuries and things coming through her career and sort of I would say properly hit form in Canada. And then now obviously playing for Lyon, a top team in women's football. She's right up there, which is great to have an English player that's there or thereabouts. I don't suppose we've had one since Kelly Smith, so it's nice to have another top English player.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And of course, you were an excellent player yourself. And what especially
I'll pay you later. I'll put it through your door.
And what especially made you stand out was some of your hairstyles, Sue. We've got to talk about them.
Oh, well, look at the state of it at the moment.
Do you have a favourite of one of your hairstyles you ever had in the past?
Oh my goodness, I've had some real bad ones. Yeah, at the moment I've got to put it. I have just been training, so that's why I've got to abandon it. But yeah, because there's obviously no hairdressers, so it's just getting longer and longer, and I'm sure everybody's struggling with that at the moment. But I've had some really bad ones. I had one at I think it was the Euros I think it was in Finland, and again, it was one of those, you've been away for like 6 weeks and your hair was growing, and one of the girls said, "Oh, I can do braids." So I was like, "Oh, brilliant, I'll have my hair braided." And when you look back, you think, why on earth did I do that? She didn't just braid my hair, but she put green bobbles in it. So I'm playing against the Netherlands, I think it was. I've got a picture of me with braided hair with green bobbles in that I've never lived that on. So yeah, but there's some. I've got one. I think when I signed for Lincoln, it was a bit like a skunk. So I got called Skunk. That was my nickname at Lincoln. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I just had a bit of a crazy hairdresser that just used to say, "Oh, how about trying this style?" And yeah, but somebody told me that it's quite good to actually stand out for something.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, if you have a bit of a stinker, at least they'll notice your hair rather than what you've done on the pitch.
I think my favourite was definitely the mullet that went into the 2 ponytails.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the best ones.
What was that? What was that all about?
Well, I've got a hat on. My hair is terrible at the moment, and don't you worry, I've had some bad hairstyles in the past, and we won't show them either. I think, is it Rudiger now? He's got have you seen his hair?
Yes, I have.
He's got like a chips and rice, half and half sort of thing, isn't he? So
it's brilliant though. Yeah, I love it. I think, I think it was Pogba, wasn't it? He was getting criticised a little bit for like all his different hairstyles, and they were saying he needs to just focus on his football. But I think if that's how people want to express themselves, let them do it. It's as long as you're performing on the pitch, then that's the most important thing. But yeah, there's been some great hairstyles around. But I love it. I think I like it. It's a bit individual. It's a bit different, isn't it? If everyone had the same style, it'd be a bit boring.
So quickly, just what team do you support?
Oh, you're not going to like me now.
Oh, don't break my heart, Sue. Don't. I know I'm wearing.
I am an Everton fan. I am an Everton fan.
Oh, I'm so
sorry. I know. Yeah, I know. Most people say that. But people don't know. I actually had someone coming up to me in Tesco, which was quite funny, saying, "Oh, I quite enjoy watching you on Sky, but the fact you're a Liverpool fan really does my head in." And I was like, so I just let him carry on. He carried on, did this little bit of a rant. He was quite positive, but at the same time, because I was a Liverpool fan, he didn't like me.
Yeah.
And I just said, "Oh, let me just correct you. I do actually support Everton. I've been an Everton fan all my life." And he went, "Really? Oh, I really like you now. Brilliant. I'll start following you on Twitter." And that was his thing. So it's like, you've just got to be quite, obviously when you're doing a game, you can't be biased. You can't be. I'm probably more critical of Everton because they're my team. So I think whenever I'm doing a game, I probably criticise them more than maybe I would Liverpool, because I'm conscious of it. So I think if I start saying anything about Liverpool, I know that all my mates back home will be like, "Really, that's because you're a blue nose." So yeah, you just got to, I suppose, just watch it as a game rather than as a fan. And that at first was probably quite hard, but yeah, now it's just got to appreciate Liverpool and what they're doing at the moment, because the football that they play, and I absolutely love Jurgen Klopp. I think he's fantastic for the game. So I'm certainly not a bitter blue. I'm certainly a blue that just enjoys watching football. And if Liverpool are performing at a good level, which they are, then I appreciate it and talk fondly of it. So hopefully you don't dislike me too much now.
No, of course not. Of course not. We've had some dark days, really dark days. It's like 2010, stuff like that. Roy Hodgson coming in, and and the team that we had then compared to now is just insane. So
yeah,
it's such a rebuild, and we're just so lucky to be one of the best teams in Europe, best team in the world, some may say.
Yeah. I know. Well, just try being an Everton fan at this moment in time. We've had a fair few dark days, dark years. Yeah.
Well, it's finally looking up for you because you've got a good manager now. So that's of course. So he's really good. He's on the ball, and that's the thing. It's unlucky that the coronavirus outbreaks happened as soon as you get a good manager.
No, you're right, and that's exactly what they needed. I think just being an Everton fan just needed a lift, needed a bit of a boost. And I think to have someone like him come in, just his pedigree, what he's done, what he's achieved. You think if he can do you know, half of that at Everton. I think the Everton fans will certainly be happy. But it's a rebuild for Everton, and it's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take a lot of players. But, you know, how fantastic would it be for Merseyside if it could be Everton, Liverpool competing for the title? It'd be brilliant. So maybe one day, maybe when, you know, I'm 70.
Now, there's a little segment that I did in the first episode, Sue, and the viewers wanted it back. They loved it so much, they wanted me to do it again. And it's a great little thing. It's called the Question Fez. So it's a little fez that I've got here. And it has questions in it. I have no idea what the questions are because I got my family to write some questions for you. So they're just
brilliant.
Little slips. I have no idea what they are, so hopefully it could go anywhere, really.
As long as there's no maths, I'll be all right.
Oh yeah, they were a bit random last time, so I don't know, probably from my brother. So this one says, which app on your phone do you hate but use anyway?
Wow.
Question.
I look at my phone, let me just see.
I think, especially for me, it'd probably be TikTok because it's...
Do you know, I'm actually on TikTok. I was just going to say, I bet that's what it is. I actually spent probably an hour just looking through things the other day, and I didn't realise, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've spent an hour just looking through people's TikToks. So yeah, I think it has to be that. Good question, that one.
I know, and if you do want good content, I would follow @ScouseMarge. I think that's my TikTok account anyway.
Okay.
It's basically, I thought, if I do TikToks, I might not get as many views or likes, so I'll just use Marge instead, who's 88. I feel like if I just exploit her on TikTok, I'll just get more views and likes.
That is brilliant.
She has no idea what she's doing, but she's helping me out. Right, this next question, I've got a great one. This one is definitely from my brother because it's just lowers the tone. So when Les Dennis and Amanda Holden split up, whose side were you on?
Oh my word!
Good question.
A very good question. Oh wow! I can't. Do you know what? I can't even remember why they split up. Do we know why?
I've no idea. I think I'm going to side with Les Dennis just because. Oh yeah, from Liverpool, isn't he? So I was thinking.
I suppose, yeah. See, I'll just go with Amanda Holden. Just stick with the girls.
Balance it out.
Balance it out, yeah. But I've no idea why they split up. So
of course. And we don't want any complaints. We don't want any bias of...
No, so we just split it. Yeah, just split it in two.
Because those Les Dennis fan accounts can go crazy. Right, I've got one more question. Here it is.
Okay.
This is a good question. It's who's the most famous person you've ever met?
It would probably be David Beckham, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah, that is famous.
I've met him a couple of times. Actually, out of all the people, so you know, you do meet quite a lot of people in like the work that I'm in, and you've just got to be quite cool about it, and you know, just say hello to them and chat to them as normal.
Yeah.
But with him, I couldn't. He's just got some aura about him, and I just went all really girly and ended up just giggling, not saying anything of any meaning or sense. And he was lovely. He actually, like, there was a few of us that had we'd been training on one pitch, they'd been training on another, and he'd come over to wish us good luck for the game. And I couldn't say anything. So he was saying, oh, good luck for your game against whoever it was, Austria or whatever. And I just giggled the whole way through as he introduced himself. It just, yeah. And then we met him at Sports Personality as well, which was quite nice. But again, just a genuinely lovely guy with a real aura, very attractive man. And I just went all really girly. So I would say he's probably the most famous, or the person that, I just couldn't act normal with.
that is top tier famous. You know, yeah. I once met Martin Skirtle in a Tesco.
Like that.
That is great.
Did you talk to him?
I did. I was like, well, he didn't really talk back. I was like, are you Martin Skirtle? And he was like, sort of grunted. He was like, yeah, like that. And I was like, can I have a selfie? And he was like, yeah. And he didn't change his face. Like, if you see the selfie, I'm like that. And he's like that.
That is brilliant. Oh, I love that. That is absolutely brilliant.
So that is all the questions out of the question fez. And now the question fez is over, I think that is a good place to end the Zoom call. So thank you very much, Sue, for joining me.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I hope you watch the video back. And I promise I haven't put any pictures of the mullet with the 2 ponytails on.
Definitely have, haven't you?
Yeah. Sue, see you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.